has been engaging awareness among the public.
Ebola, as described by health experts, is a hemorrhagic fever, highly contagious, and is transmitted through contact with affected person through body fluid. But as to we Ghanaians, we haven't able to record any of this so far. But as to whether the ordinary Ghanaian is aware of this outbreak and what are the measures that one should be taken to put himself in place in order not to get contracted with this deadly Ebola virus, we are yet to find out. We'll be finding out more from Ghanaians, the ordinary Ghanaian, to find out how well they are informed on this deadly Ebola virus. So we'll be speaking to many of them briefly to find out from them. So we are here at the Aplawu station, Accra Host station, and GPRTU to speak to some of the officials here to find out from them how well they are informed of this deadly virus. Good morning.
Good morning.
You are live on Joy News Multi TV.
I'm Nana Kwame Sapon, the Accra Host GPRTU branch chairman.
Okay. Yeah. So, Chairman, tell us, what do you know about Ebola?
Well, all I can say, we've been hearing this Ebola on the net and the media. But all I can say about the Ebola is, well, when you have contact with somebody in that infection, one, and we don't go for these bats and these red meat. If I say red meat, I mean these goats and this thing. So we've been informed, and we've been informed our drivers that they should be very careful, especially when in contact with somebody. Yeah, they should give a distance in the conversation. Well, that's all I know about Ebola. Yeah.
So if there, God forbid, but if there should be a possible outbreak in Ghana, do you know some of the measures you should be taking personally to avoid it?
Well, as I said, we have to go away from bats and all that meats. We have to know how to talk about people in terms of conversation, in terms of eating. Normally, these deadly diseases comes in contact, in human contacts, so we have to be very careful. We have to go in for a better education. Yeah. All
right. Thank you so much for sharing with us. I would also be speaking to one other official here. Good morning.
Good morning.
Can you please give us your name?
Samuel Asante.
Okay, Mr. Asante, what do you know about Ebola?
What I would say, my chairman have already said all. So, well, we have heard about the Ebola, and we are keeping ourselves so that maybe we cannot get the virus.
What exactly are you doing to keep yourself away from this deadly virus?
Well, we normally don't eat with friends, people, we don't mix with people. We always do our things separately so that maybe we cannot involve ourselves into that virus.
So that is what you know about the Ebola virus. Okay, so we're speaking to more of them. I'm heading towards one of the officials here and to speak to him to find out what exactly he also knows about this deadly virus. Good morning.
Good morning.
Can you give us your name?
Samuel Adoti.
Samuel
Adoti.
So, Mr. Adoti, tell us, do you know about this deadly Ebola virus?
Well, I've been watching on TV most of the time. Of late, anytime there's a news, I've been seeing. But, well, I don't know much about it.
You don't know much. Yeah. But what exactly have you heard about it?
It means it's infection that if it's with another person and you don't take time, you greet or you shake hands with the person, maybe it will affect you. Okay. That's what I know much. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing it. We have more of this people outside who will be talking more with them to find out their perspective on this deadly Ebola disease.
They have to be careful so that if the sickness, how can I say, we have it in our country. Yeah. Yeah.
You are saying we should be advising ourselves. What measures do you think we should be putting in place?
That one, for advise ourselves and how this thing is coming, for talk to each other to know that this is coming so that we know what we are doing or what is coming. Yeah.
I'm sure you might have heard it on radio, TV, and what did you hear on it?
We heard it on radio, say that this Kura or this Ebola is coming, but we heard, but it didn't come to Ghana already. So we are advise ourselves that if it come out, we know what we will do. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Your name?
Right, we can now go to Winneba, where the launch of We the People is ongoing. My colleague Jahunyan is joining us from there.
Founded by literacy, ignorance, poverty, and access to information. Nana Chairman, with the introduction of decentralization in 1988, local governments in Ghana have reviewed more responsibilities for economic development and social services delivery. One of the significant mandates of local governments in Ghana, as stipulated in the Local Government Act 1993, Act 462, is to ensure the promotion of economic development by local governments. However, with the competitive demands and the inadequate financial powers and resources of local governments, little attention has been paid to economic development. Over the years, local governments in Ghana have focused on physical infrastructure development, such as building of schools, markets, clinics. Interestingly, the economic values of these projects have not been highlighted in order for the people to appreciate the multiple effects. Nana Chairman, it is very important to note that it is very prudent for us to meet this morning to consider this innovative program dubbed We the People program, initiated by Joy News in collaboration with Efutu Municipal Assembly, as a timely and wisely and a step in the right direction. Nay, Chairman, it is instructive to note that we are the first municipal assembly to embrace this program, just to avail our stewardship for assessment. I would like to welcome our visitors and all present here for this very important social engagement. Congratulations to Joy News team for this bold step towards deepening our democratic dispensation through participatory governance, social audit, transparency, and accountability. Let us all contribute to these discussions therein dispassionately, devoid of insults and attacks on personalities. Thank you very much, and you are all welcome.
Oh, bonsam. Honorable PM, Yadawase. No question ni ya Honorable Eka wa Brofomono. Sabe nye nyina na yetiasia papa. Ti mesrese mechiremu kakra. Ti awe mu se de be ya aye nyina yebeti ase na yenya so emfaso. No di kan eka ni se yeka kamanka bi amamu a na yenya yewo nkuru kuma ni nkurase no ye ne fa ye ho papa san se ye ne de anu tumu a idimu untimi nka democracy a manfo wo nkuru kuma ani nkurase no onfa won enka ho nunti yakwenya kese ama ye nyina se ye de amambo no aben yen o kire mu se eye yamamra no chapter 20 1992 constitution no amamra no eno na ebi kwan ama yede amamu no afri aban musoro no ho a de ben sintia ene ye municipal assembly no ye mra bi na ma kwan mpanyinfoɔ aba so sɛ ma saa akwanya no yɛn so nye bia ɛnɛ de ama yɛahyia mu ɛwɔ aha na mo yɛ ɔdeɛ kakra a odie ne sɛ ɛwom sɛ mmara no de aban no abɛn yɛdeɛ nanso yɛsikasɛm fam no biribi akɔdi nkran pontodwuma bi a yɛbɛyɛ no te sɛ sika ɛfi nkran mmoa papa nti ɛho bɛhia sɛ nka ne yie mu no sɛ yɛn nso yɛtumi ɛyɛ bɔmmɔden ɛwɔ yɛn pontodwuma afam ɛwɔ aseɛ ha kɛbɛboa bebree ɛno nso akyi no ɔbɔdwa yɛ fam aba so papaapa sɛ wɔde dwumadi ama yɛn a yɛwɔ nkurunkuma mu nso yɛnya kwanya na yɛtumi ne ɔmanfoɔ ɛdi nkuta ho sɛdeɛ ɛbɛyɛ a mpontodwuma bi a ɛkɔ so wɔ mansin no mu no yɛtumi ne amanfoɔ ɛdi ho mesese ne ti a wɔtwa mu ɛni yɛbɛda ɔnrabɔ ase ɔnrabɔ yɛda ase papaapa yo yɛda ɔnrabɔ ase na ɔfa a yɛdo yi borɔfo kasɛm no yɛbɛka no presentation sɛnti a yɛhyia ha ne sɛ yɛbɛhu mpontodwuma ahodoɔ a mansin assembly no ɛyɛ yɛka sɛ no deɛn paa na ɔwɔtumi ayɛ a yɛbu ho akontaa kyerɛ yɛn yɛwɔ kasafoni bi wɔ ha a abɛboa yɛn ama mpontodwuma ahodoɔ a
Right, let's speak to Jahunya now. She's joining us from Efutu in Weneba. We'll find out what's happening. Hello, Jahu. Well, I understand we have lost Jahu there. So then, let's see the live feed then.
Nyamiadom, Namusinia or my Chevy Germano, our yentem, and the Senti, Romano Quine. Yo, nti sɛ na meka yɛ no wɔbɛdwa mu sei no sɛ yɛma nam sini a wɔmmrahyɛ bɛdwa mu no anaa ebi a nanam sini a ɔde asoma anaa wasoma ne ha no ɛwɔ yɛn ntam a ebi akwanya ma no sɛ mmrahyɛ bɛdwani ano di sɛm a wɔde ahyɛ n'ano no ɔde baba bɛto manfo anim nti yɛbie kwan ma yɛ honorable member of parliament anaa ne rep bi a ɛwɔ ha no asɛm a wɔde asoma no no obɛtumi ɛde abɛto.
Let's speak to Jahu now. Hello, Jahu.
Hello, Kalumi.
Finally, we're having the launch of We the People in Efutu.
Certainly, finally, it seems to be happening.
So, what is it going to be like today?
Well, it's just going to take the format of the town hall meeting. The assembly is going to give its presentation first off on what it's been doing over the past year and also what it plans to be doing. And then they're going to open the floor for the members of the electorate to actually give their assessment and ask questions on what they think the assembly should be doing, or perhaps if there's a promise that has been made in the past that hasn't yet been hasn't come to fruition, they can make inquiries on it. So it's basically a platform to bring the duty bearers or the people who actually carry out plans. It's a platform to bring them closer to the people that they are supposed to govern or rule.
Last week or so, residents or locals in Efutu were very disappointed it couldn't come off. Tell us about attendance today.
Well, doing a rough head count, it looks as if there are only about 150 people in the church hall right now, and that is including security personnel and workers of the municipal assembly. And so looking around, the turnout is not as massive as we first envisioned it to be. But it started late, so perhaps that is also another reason that the attendance is not as much as it is. But we intend to go out later on to find out from the people who did not show up why they didn't show up. Maybe they didn't even know about the program, because when we did a follow-up visit after last week's how should I say, cancellation, it seems as if a lot of people within the community itself didn't really have the knowledge that such a thing is coming on. So it's either or, but we'll find out and definitely let you know what the reasons are.
So you'd say We the People is officially launched?
We the People is happening. Let me put it that way.
It is happening. It is happening.
We the people is happening. That's the important thing. And recently, CDD with UNDP came out with a report that gave some startling figures when it comes to the sort of interaction between the people that are in power and the people that they serve. And I think about 89% of people said they've never actually met their MPs. 73% said they hadn't met their municipal chief, metropolitan and district chief executives. So it's a step anyway to try and bridge that gap.
And understand the member of parliament for the area is speaking at the moment. Right, I understand the MCE rather.
Well, the member of parliament didn't turn up. He sent a representative. But yes, the MC is actually giving his speech right now.
Okay, let's listen to that quickly, and then we'll come back to you.
Deliberative, legislative, executive body in its area of jurisdiction. The pursuit of these deliberative, legislative, and executive functions, municipal assemblies have become the fulcrum around which development actions revolve. Chairman, in spite of the plethora of laws that give the Assembly a leverage over rateable items, the Futu Municipal Assembly is still faced with huge financial challenges that present Herculean problems to the realization of the objectives of the Assembly. Let us talk about the difficulties relating to common fund releases. Chairman, it will surprise you to know that the fourth quarter of our share of the common fund for 2013 was just received barely a week ago. The erratic releases of the common fund has been a major bane to the performance of the municipal assemblies, but we have been undaunted in our resolve to live up to our mandate. It is in view of this that the Assembly has taken seriously the qualification of the Functional Organization Assessment Tool as a FWAT that comes with fairly bigger grants from the World Bank to aid development projects. It is gratifying to note that the Futu Municipal Assembly has for the 3 consecutive years, beginning with 2010 to 2013, won the Functional Organization Assessment Tool by dint of hard work by my core staff, decentralized department, support from the Assembly members, and efficient management of resources as well as strict adherence to managerial principles could terminus with the Act 462 that spells out the mandate of the Assembly. In fact, the municipality came top in the urban development grant in 2013 with a score of 98% and have always been among the best 5% nationwide. This has resulted in the execution of a number of development projects in the municipality. I would not like to bore you with the details of these projects, since the Municipal Coordinating Director and the Municipal Planning Officer will present a PowerPoint presentation on all projects under the Urban Development Grant and the District Development Fund. Summary of financial analysis of UDG, DDF, District Assembly Common Fund. The analysis of budget and actual funds. The analysis of budget and actual funds inflow into the Assembly is presented below. Here we have the UDG 1 for 454,716,076. Masramopi. Ahanisa mobo na mamboni iya. Mfancham sanda sikafoforo no oya demam. Dada na minyim. DDF 361,781 cedis. Common Fund, 1,024,399 cedis. IGF, as our own internal generated funding, 487,340 cedis. Water and sanitation, 386,956.80 cedis. We come to the receipts, that is the amount that have been expended so far. For UDG, we have spent 398,793.35 cedis. DDF, 313,628.21 cedis. Common Fund, 358,539.91 cedis. IGF, 537,202.98 cedis.
Right, let's speak to Jahu Nyan, who's on the ground for us. Hello, Jahu. Are you still there?
Yes, indeed, I am, Timony.
What's the MCE doing at the moment?
The MCE is basically given sort of a summary of the financials for the past year. He started out by saying that, in fact, the District Assembly Common Fund quarter 4 tranche for 2013 actually just arrived in their account a week ago. That is 7 months into 2014. So right from the get-go, the indications are not too good when it comes to financial management, because they are saying that the inflows are not what they should be. However, he gave a breakdown on what actually they should have, what actually they have, and he's now talking about the expenditure. And he then moved on to basically outlining the infrastructure and development, where the money is spent. He's speaking about roads right now, and it seems as if he's going to go on to education, as the kind of expenditure they've done on education over the past year.
Right.
So that's basically what he's doing now. Unfortunately, we understand there's going to be a PowerPoint presentation later on, because bearing in mind that the people of Efisu might not be able to grasp completely the kind of figures that are being battled off right now. So hopefully the PowerPoint presentation will bring a bit of more clarity to the situation.
I see. So if I understand the form of We the People, then locals are going to ask questions based on what the MCE is telling them at the moment.
Certainly, yes. That's what is going to happen.
Which seems a fantastic idea. How long are we going to see We the People run?
Well, We the People is a year-long project. We're starting with the Futu municipality. We're going to go up north, further up north. We're going to go to Laura and Katina 99X. And we also going to go to Esijaman in the eastern region and Tunyane in the Bronga-Hafo region. So for the next year, we should become quite familiar with these districts and these municipalities across the country. Hopefully we'll get more education on how exactly the local governance structures work in a practical sense. Because a lot of time we hear about decentralization and decentralized governments, but the way they work or how it's supposed to work seems to be missing in the national dialogue. People are more aware of the power of the thumb when it comes to national and parliamentary elections. But when it comes to local assemblies, what they do, what they're supposed to do, there seems to be a disconnect there. So in the next year, 8 odd months, 9 odd months, we should get to know these municipalities, know what they are working at, see the kind of reactions we get from people, whether people want to meet their leaders or not, because there is a sense of mistrust when it comes to politics or politicians and the electorate. There's a lot of sentiments that, they make promises and they're not going to fulfill it. So what's the point if us come to sit down and talk to them,
so,
talk in no action? So
how often are we going to see this on the air?
Well, you've seen the first one on the air now. So that is with the Futu municipality. And very soon, within the next month, within August, you will be able to see Laura, and following that, Kasina Nankana as well.
So it's about once a month?
Yes, about once a month.
Jahu, we'll leave it here for now. Thank you very much. Jahu Nyan is in the Futu municipality where We the People has taken off finally. Now let's go to the presidency. My colleague Gifty Ando Apia is at a crunch presidential meeting on the economy. She's joined me via telephone with a quick update. Hello, Gifty.
Hello, Kevin.
Tell us what's been happening.
Well, as I speak with you, we are at the Pediatric Lodge, which is one of the seats of government, if you like. And what's going on here is the Presidential Advisory Committee on the Economy, and the President John Dramani Mahama is chairing that meeting now. It's a meeting behind closed doors, and so we do not know exactly what they're discussing or what the outcomes of what they're discussing are going to be. What we do know is that there's going to be something more like a press briefing after this meeting, so that they'll tell us exactly what they discussed and its implications for the country's economy. But I have with me a presidential spokesperson, and Ben Duchimalo, who can give us some more information on that.
Absolutely.
Hello.
Hello, Ben.
Yes.
What are the expectations of this meeting?
I think the expectations are that this strategic group that reports directly to the president will meet very regularly and help the president, together with all the knowledgeable, experienced people in the team, to take the necessary actions and decisions that will help our economy, the Ghanaian economy, bounce back to good health and deliver the prosperity and the opportunities for all Ghanaians that we expect and we believe we have.
Just before I get into what the issues could be, that the issues on the table could be, how different is this from Senchi?
No, Senchi was part of a process that required implementation. Senchi was not just an event. Senchi demanded that whatever discussions came up, whatever recommendations, whatever suggestions and good ideas came up.
We've lost Ben there. We were speaking with communications, head of communications, the presidency, Ben Duche Malo, as there's a crunch presidential meeting on the economy at Pediatric Lodge. We'll get Ben in the course of the bulletin. If not, in subsequent broadcasts, we'll bring you what's been happening at the Pediatric Lodge as this crunch meeting on the economy goes on. I'll be right back. Don't go away. Let's go back to the Pediatric Lodge where the crunch meeting on the economy is underway. Ben Duche Malo, spokesperson of the presidency, has joined me over the telephone again. Thank you very much for joining us again, Ben.
Thank you.
Right, so you were telling us how discussions at this crunch meeting and the Senchi could be different.
Yes, I was explaining that when the National Economic Forum happened in Senchi, it was part of a process. It was not just an event. At Senchi, a whole lot of bright ideas came from some of the best brains we have in our nation, coming from all sectors. And part of the process means that the ideas must be implemented to begin to restore our economy back to good health, and also ensure that the medium-term prospects that everyone acknowledges are bright. I hope the line is still working.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that the medium-term prospects that we all the experts acknowledge are bright and good for Ghana, that those come into the lives of Ghanaians as quickly as possible. So basically, it's a time of action, implementation, and results, building on from the Senchi report for the good of all Ghanaians to make sure that we come out of the current short-term challenges much more quickly.
So what are some of the issues on the table at Pediase today?
I think the issues are what almost, or if not all of us in Ghana are aware of, and the President, John Dramani Mahama, has explained. We are going through some short-term challenges. Short-term challenges affected by the fact that over the last 1 year, because of the drops in the prices of gold and cocoa, Ghana did not have, let's say, 1.5 billion US dollars that would have been available for the government to use in the expenditure in building schools, building roads, and all that. That is gradually changing. Again, because of our status as a lower middle income nation, over the last 1 or 2 years, it means that development partners are not obliged to support us the way they did before. We have to find the means of handling this. A third area, please, is the fact that our economy remains heavily import dependent, which means we are importing rice that we could produce here in Ghana ourselves. We are bringing in frozen poultry that we could get our poultry farmers to produce. The government has instituted measures to make sure that we are producing what we eat, we patronize, we buy, we sell made in Ghana goods and services. Because, again, over a period of 1 year, several amounts of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars, $720 million, if I recall right, was spent to import into Ghana things that we could produce and we can produce. We have the ability. It's not in the realm of just vision. So all these measures will kick in, and as soon as they kick in, we will begin to experience the results.
While discussions, like you've said, as may be different from discussions now at Pediase may be different from Senchi at the levels at which they were held, it's clear that the issues are similar. The issues we are faced with the country will be the same issues that will be on the table at Pediase or are on the table at Pediase at the moment. Are we going to see the Senchi Accord being discussed at Pediase today?
That's a very good question. Indeed, the Senchi report is going on.
Hello, Ben.
Yes. The Senchi report is a very key part of the discussions here. And again, the words are on implementation, results, and actions that will deliver the opportunities and the prosperities that we all expect. It's all about, if you look at it, the group that is here, it's a very small group of technocrats, experienced brothers and sisters who are going to help the president in the efficient and speedy implementation of all the bright ideas we have that can turn our situation around and make us better in terms of the economy.
So Ben, if I understand you, after the Pediase meeting today, we should have a clear-cut way on how we would implement the game plan for implementing the Senchi Accord.
That can be partly a way of looking at it, but it's a continuous process. It's something that is going to be ongoing. They are going to meet regularly, even twice a week, and report directly to the president to make sure that the right and the necessary things are done for the good of the people of Ghana.
Ben, pleasure talking to you. Ben Doche Malo is Director of Communications at the presidency.